It was a midwinter night, the night that I will never forget. The images, they're still etched into my brain like some sort of device, and they still haunt me 10 years today. It all started on this very day, 10 years ago, 25th of December 1995. All kids believe in Santa Claus. Which kid doesn't? You need imagination to keep yourself sane, and to escape from this world briefly, for if there was no imagination, you would realize how much of a distraught, war-torn world this is. But however, having too much imagination, like me and my 3 friends, Abby, Jason and Max, comes a price. A price that you shouldn't have to pay, but becomes a necessity. It was Christmas Day, and we lived in an orphanage. It was okay, but there's one person within whose heart is as black as a pit of Tartarus. Her name? It was Jessica. Jessica Reaves. She was 64. However, she looked like she had lived for an eternity. She has thin, grey hair and long, bony, hag-like fingers. She was the entity of evil. For a joke, us 4 decided to pretend she was a harpy. You know, the one from Greek mythology. She was terrifying. She even went to the point of abusing some of the other orphans, just for fun. She was sick. She deserved what she got. So, it was around 8 PM. All of the other orphans were getting ready for bed, except us 4. We were the oldest. All of us 16, the rest of the orphans were around 6 to 12, I believe. It was strange that were adolescents within the orphanage. Why? Because she never let us leave. However, this is where the strange part is. Some of the kids disappeared. As in vanished. Gone. Without a trace. So we decided to do some investigating, if you will. I still wish we hadn't. The sight, the smell, the horror of it all. Jessica used to spend a lot of time in her room. Strangely, after a child went missing, she also kept 4 ravens. God knows why. She was crazy. I glanced at the clock. 8:10 PM. The muffled sound of wings flapping came from inside her room. But her ravens weren't kept inside her room. They were kept within the dining room. We didn't know what was going on, but something inside made me want to keep going, even though my instincts told me not to. I was a fool, and I'll never forget the day we found out the secret of Jessica Reaves. I hesitantly opened the door. Sure enough, Jessica was sitting there, but something seemed odd about her. She was hunched over with what seemed like a black fur coat draped down her back. I reached out, God knows why, and touched it. It wasn't fur, it was wings. She span around, the bloody corpse of one of the kids who went missing not too long ago. My stomach turned inside my body. A decaying hole in its chest looked as though something jogged into it. She looked up at me. Her facial features were the same, except she had a beak. I turned and ran, but was soon tackled by a great mass of feathers. She was on top of me, clawing, pecking at my neck. She pierced it, missing the jugular vein by an inch. The pain coursed through my body. Ignoring it, I pushed her aside. With a bloody fist, I swung at her. It connected with a sickening crunch. Her beak was misplaced, bloody and broken. She looked at me with the face of a demon and screeched. I felt my eardrums pierce. I fell to the floor, crying in pain. Leaving my 3 so-called friends abandoned me. I was left there, staring into the face of Jessica Reaves. And to this day, the tale of Jessica Reaver Reaves, who supposedly roams this very house. But don't worry, she hasn't found you. Yet.